Aztec Empire, centered in what is now Mexico, was a powerful Mesoamerican civilization that flourished from the 14th to early 16th centuries. Its capital, Tenochtitlan, was a magnificent city built on an island in Lake Texcoco, with a complex society, advanced engineering, and a rich cultural and religious life. The Aztec ruler, or Tlatoani, was Moctezuma I, also spelled Montezuma, who governed a vast empire through a combination of tribute and military conquest. In the early 16th century, Spain was emerging as a global power with ambitions of expansion. The Spanish crown, driven by a desire for wealth, territorial gain, and the spread of Christianity, supported exploration and conquest in the New World. Christopher Columbus's voyages had opened the way for further exploration, leading to the arrival of Spanish explorers and conquistadors in the Americas. Hernán Cortés, a Spanish conquistador, landed on the coast of what is now Veracruz in April 1519 with a force of around 600 men, 16 horses, and a few cannons. Cortés had previously been a soldier in the Caribbean, but sought greater fortunes on the mainland. His expedition was initially sanctioned by the governor of Cuba, Diego Velázquez, but Cortés defied his orders and proceeded independently. Upon arrival, Cortés encountered various indigenous groups who were hostile to the Aztecs, including the Tlaxcalans, who would become crucial allies. The Spanish initially made contact with the Aztecs through intermediaries, and their arrival stirred both curiosity and apprehension among the Aztecs. Cortés quickly realized that forming alliances with indigenous groups opposed to the Aztecs would be essential to his success. The Tlaxcalans, who had been in conflict with the Aztecs, were persuaded to ally with the Spanish through promises of support and mutual benefit. The alliance with the Tlaxcalans provided Cortés with a crucial military advantage. The Tlaxcalans, familiar with Aztec warfare and tactics, aided the Spanish in battles against the Aztecs and supplied vital intelligence. Cortés and his forces, accompanied by Tlaxcalan warriors, advanced towards Tenochtitlan. The journey involved several battles and negotiations with other indigenous groups. By November 1519, Cortés and his army reached the outskirts of Tenochtitlan. Moctezuma I initially welcomed Cortés, possibly believing he was a returning god or a powerful ally. He offered gifts and accommodations which Cortés used to gather information and strengthen his position within the city. Tensions between the Spanish and Aztecs escalated. In June 1520, Cortés left Tenochtitlan to confront a rival Spanish faction led by Pánfilo de Narváez. During his absence, a conflict known as the Noche Triste Sad Night erupted, resulting in a major Spanish defeat and retreat. Cortés returned with reinforcements and resumed the siege of Tenochtitlan in August 1521. The siege involved brutal fighting, blockades, and assaults on the city. The Aztecs, weakened by disease, famine, and continuous assaults, eventually succumbed. After months of intense fighting, Tenochtitlan fell to the Spanish on August 13, 1521. The city was devastated, and its inhabitants were either killed, captured, or fled. Moctezuma I died during the conflict, and his successor Cuauhtémoc was captured and later executed. Following the conquest, Cortés and his men established New Spain, which became a significant part of the Spanish Empire. The destruction of Tenochtitlan marked the beginning of Spanish colonization in Mexico. The conquest had devastating effects on the indigenous populations. The introduction of European diseases such as smallpox led to widespread mortality. Spanish rule brought about significant cultural, social, and economic changes, including the imposition of Spanish language and Christianity. The Spanish conquest of the Aztecs is remembered as a turning point in history that marked the beginning of European domination in the Americas. It has been subject to various interpretations, from heroic narratives to critical perspectives on imperialism and cultural destruction. The legacy of the conquest continues to influence Mexican identity and historical memory. The Spanish conquest of the Aztecs was a complex and transformative event that reshaped the history of the Americas. It involved a combination of military strategy, diplomatic alliances, and the devastating effects of disease. The conquest set the stage for centuries of Spanish colonial rule and profoundly impacted the indigenous civilizations of Mesoamerica.